To be honest, I'm privileged and honoured that I was asked to share my testimony, because if there's somebody in here that could be encouraged through it, then I give God all the glory and honour for that.
Amen.
Are you okay? Is that better? So anyway, my testimony is I was raised up in a godly home under my mother, Helen, and we went to the church in Montrose from I was only just a little boy really. So I always knew God was real, believed in God. I was from a broken home. My father was an alcoholic and he left us. So it was just me and my mother, obviously my sisters. And through time, obviously, I was still going to the church right up till I was a teenager. Then I got married to my wife. And as young men do, you know, everybody says that you go away and you do your own thing. And so me and my wife moved up to Aberdeen and started drifting in and out of the church in Aberdeen. And we had, my little boy was born, my first son, his name's Shaun Paul. And after 9 months, we lost my wee boy. He died in Marsden in hospital up there. And you know something the Lord showed me tonight is that was really sort of the root cause why I left church. So I left church 10 years ago, so that was 10 years ago that happened. And as I said, my father, he left us because obviously the mum is an alcoholic, but I started to get closer to my father. He stayed in Aberdeen, and by this point I was a man. So I would go in and I would see my old father, and he would say to me, "Would you like a drink, son? Would you like a drink?" And I would say, yes. And then one would turn to two, and then before I knew it, two would turn to 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks. Life just destroyed them. And so this went on for a long time, and but it got worse than that. A lot worse. There's too much things, too much personal things that I'd done and said and thought that even say up here, but the alcohol destroyed my life completely. And my wife, she put me home. She said, "I can't do this no more." And to be honest, I couldn't blame her. I really couldn't. You know, I was always getting in trouble with the police and things. Through the alcohol, I lost my licence. My life was a mess, brothers, honestly. It truly was a mess. I was a horrible, disgusting, disgraceful man. And one night I was drinking with my father, and he went to his bed. The following morning I got up, I went through, and I found him, he was dead. And that really tore me up, because he was my best pal. And then after that I just started hitting the drink harder and harder. Till eventually I found myself homeless, no wife, no family, nobody wanted nothing to do with me, up in Aberdeen, homeless, sleeping on the streets, begging. And when I say begging, I mean begging, I mean asking people for money, because that to feed my habit, drink. And it was a very, very hard thing. I just wanted to die, I wanted it to be over. I mean, I slept so many nights rough. I used to sleep in the big steel bins, the ones that you get maybe on some of the sites or on the yards or whatever, the big bins. I used to sleep in them and make fires and things just to try and stay warm. A bad situation. And I always knew God was real, but I always thought, why did my wee boy die? You know, like why have I had to go through this life? It was hard. And it made me a very hard-hearted person, you know. I was cruel. I was able to turn my emotions on and off like that light switch. And then eventually I got in a bit of trouble in Aberdeen. I left Aberdeen, still drinking. So bear in mind, this is a couple of years now I've been drinking. And I ended up down at my mother's, and it was during COVID. And she was really not well. She couldn't get up, she couldn't really do much, she was sick. And anyway, to cut a long story short, we found out she had cancer. And she died, boys, and I'll be honest with you, that broke my heart, because my mother was like a father to me. She used to come out working, and I was younger, me and her would work together doing bits of trees and just whatever. And you know something, I didn't get to say goodbye to my mother because I was a raging alcoholic and I was outside the hospital drinking. I couldn't come in because I had shakes on me like that. I needed to have a drink to calm myself down. I was a proper alcoholic. I mean, I could go anywhere from drinking sort of 2 to 3 litres of vodka a day easily. And if I couldn't get vodka, it would be 6 to 7 bottles of wine, 15%. It had to be strong stuff. I couldn't drink anything like beers or that. It needed to be strong. And God bless my mother, she died. And after that, I had nowhere to go. I had no mother, I had no father. Obviously, my wife put me going, so that was the places I would go to. When I got in trouble with the wife, I'd go to the sort of my father's, or I would go to my mother's, so I had nobody now. And so anyway, after that, I just sort of drifted in and out of drinking, like I kept drinking, and look, I'll be honest, it's hard, it's really hard to talk about, but I ended up so bad, I ended up in hospital. And the doctors, they told me, they said, Mr. Stewart, they said, you're not going to make this. They said, you've got a condition that's known as decompensated liver cirrhosis, end-stage liver failure. I was completely yellow, I bloomed up to sort of 20 stone, I was swollen like that. My body was completely destroyed for a young man yet, and you know what I mean, I'm still only young, I may look older, but I'm only 29. And that's all through the drink. And I thank God for my brothers in Aberdeen, Alec Reid and Big Alec and Hughie. Well, he's abandoned us now, but we've got Craig Lindsay. And the boys came up in the trade with me. And you know something, this is where God gets the glory, because the doctors, they kept coming in every day, brothers, and they were saying to me, look, Mr. Stewart, you're not getting any better. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks. They said, you're just not getting any better. And I was that close, honestly, I just wanted to die. And I said to the Lord, I said, you're going to take me. I said, just take me now. I said, I can't do this. I said, honestly, I can't do it. And the doctors, they came back in and they said, Shaun, they said, something's happening. And they said, what? They said, not only are you getting better, but you're getting better very quick. From the minute that I prayed to the Lord and asked for 1 week prayer, I was out of the hospital. 1 week later, I was out of the hospital, and since then, the Lord's fixed my marriage. And my wife gave her life to the Lord. I've got 2 other sons now, and I've got 2 beautiful daughters as well. And if you know something, that's been 18 months now I haven't had a drink. And I remember one of the brothers that preached the message there. And they said, when the Son sets you free, you're free indeed. And in that area, brothers, I am free indeed. I would encourage anybody in here, there's a lot of men here, if you're struggling with sort of anything, because I could tell you now, I wouldn't come up here unless the Lord was real. And I know He was real. Amen. I know He's alive. Jesus is alive. And He's here to save, heal, and deliver. Please, brothers, give your life over to Him. God bless you. God bless you.